We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now.
What a rousing song. And it's our month of love. And within that, we're going to look at facets of love. And there's no accident that this morning we're looking at peace. We're looking at peace and freedom. And our title is Living Peace. Now, chosen to take this moment to honor the 25th anniversary of a season of peace and nonviolence. 64 days from January 30th to April 4th. Now, Arun Gandhi, the great-grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, who was assassinated on January 30th, and Martin Luther King, who was assassinated on April 4th, put forth this idea, and it has gained such momentum in these 25 years. Great leaders, the Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, so many people have brought their consciousness to this. And I'm inviting us into this time to observe this foundational principle, living peace. Now, this is definitely throughout the Bible. There's no accident that often our master teacher Jesus is referred to as the Prince of Peace. And here in James chapter 3, verse 18, the harvest of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. Whatever we hold in mind, in belief, is what we receive. Love begets love. Peace begets peace. Joy begets joy. And when we can come into our righteousness, our wholeness, our sense of being fully present in the now moment, our righteousness is a consciousness of being one with the divine, one with our wholeness. And it's that very beingness, that oneness of God. God is ever present. There's no boundaries. There's no restrictions in God. God's eternal. So God is totally free, unlimited. And therein lies that peace. Because if we're spiritually free, unfettered, unbound, what we receive is peace, a sense of serenity. Because in the now moment, accepting that God is, there's no lack. There's incredible beauty and the radiance of being fully alive, living peace. Martin Luther King, an important part of this observance of a season of peace and nonviolence, this excerpt from the historic I Have a Dream speech is probably something we all have heard. When we let freedom ring, we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men, white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. That touches my heart. It's so powerful. This vision that's spoken so many years ago. And it's the same exact message that our master teacher Jesus said over and over and over. The kingdom of heaven is within. That we're one with God. That everything is possible for us. And we are doing great works right now. There's no accident that we've arrived here this glorious February morning to claim peace and that spiritual freedom where we are all one. True oneness. Now, we have unity. Our name is oneness. And we hold a vision of oneness in the world. But it's achieved by us strapping on a consciousness, strapping on our righteousness, and sowing peace. And that is living peace. Mahatma Gandhi, of course, another part of this season of peace and nonviolence, and a great leader, said peace is its own reward. Quite simply, and peace is often hard work. Often peace is not the easy choice. Of course, the easy choice is a lot of hard work as well. And I'm talking about when we're facing conflict, when we're facing challenge. The road of peace and nonviolence is a conscious choice. Because often our knee-jerk reaction is to react. We put up our fists. We're ready to fight. We're ready to claim, I'm right, you're clearly wrong. But that's not the road of peace. When we lift up for higher consciousness, there is no right and wrong. We're all one with the same oneness of God. Empowered with all the same values and strengths. And so from that, there is a diversity of opinion. And so the choice is for peace. Then our choice is to not react. But if we can't quite understand their side of the story, rather than saying, stop, you're wrong, we might say, I'd like to understand your position. Tell me more. That invites a conversation. It invites a new way of doing things and an opportunity for peace. Peace doesn't mean we all have to agree. Peace just means we've set the weapons down. And we're not arming ourselves with another jab, another reason, another authentication of how right I am. The Dalai Lama, who's been aligned with this season of peace and nonviolence since the beginning, says human beings, indeed all sentient beings, have the right to pursue happiness and live in peace and freedom. And I think as spiritual beings, as beings that identify that there is only one power and one presence in the universe, that we are in a great inheritance. And that this is something that belongs to each human being, including the people we may identify as our enemies right now, or the people we just don't like so much, or the people who irritate us just a little too much. Anyone have anything like that in your life? Might be in your own family. I've got a few. Just a few. But those are my growth opportunities. I am so grateful for my brother. For my brother has given me the opportunity to choose differently. To swallow my pride and to allow understanding on a much wider scale. All sentient beings have a right, an inherent right to pursue. That's the operative thing here. It's ours to use it. If you don't plant the seed, it won't grow. I really want a papaya. But if you don't plant the seed, it isn't going to grow and you're not going to get papayas. It won't happen. The same thing as peace and freedom. If we don't plant those seeds of peace and freedom in our path, in our consciousness, how is it going to grow? This is why choosing to live peace is ours, if we accept it, to guide us, to choose anew, and to realize that we are all one. Nelson Mandela, a great world leader, said, "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." We're all in it together. And putting others first is a great spiritual goal. It's one that fills us. We give a little, we get a lot. And it happens by respecting others for exactly where they are and giving attention, respect, trust, so that everyone is free to be exactly where they are right now. Everyone right now. Wherever you're sitting, you are in the right place, at the right time, with the right people right now. And it's not just freeing ourselves from our attachments, freeing ourselves from our stuck places, freeing ourselves from our fears and our doubts. That's all part of living peace. But once we're free, we need to be an instrument of peace. And that's living peace. It's not lived peace. It's an active, living, breathing, working, playing peace. The wonderful Mother Teresa says, if we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. One of the things that we could observe about these world leaders that have aligned with this season of peace and nonviolence is that they see all, respect all, trust all, and give everyone the same love and freedom as their self. Nelson Mandela, the Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, they all stepped into a consciousness of a much bigger picture, the picture that we are all one. And together, in that oneness, we can achieve great things. So if we're not experiencing peace, it's ours to choose anew, to carve a different groove in our routine, a routine where we can open the door to freedom for all, peace for all. It's planting those seeds and letting them grow. And that's the activity of living peace. Viktor Frankl, a man who survived the Holocaust and then applied his practice in his teaching and his writings. He says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. In every decision, in every situation, we have a moment. And in that moment, we can choose a response or we can just react. And sometimes our reactions are not wrong. But often where we go off track is when we just go autopilot react. Because then we're not making a decision how we're responding. We're just reacting. But when we choose our response, we have power. We can shape the future by our choice. We can shape the outcome of our choice. I don't know if any of you saw the opening of the Olympics, the Winter Olympics in Beijing. And the president of the Olympic Committee gave a wonderful speech that could have been exactly standing here on this platform today, speaking to the same thing. Here's all these athletes from all over the world who are fiercely committed to doing their best and doing it in peace, in doing the best that they can. And we can learn from that shared experience. And as he said, we are all one. We're one world. And in this, we have an opportunity to live our lives the same way as these athletes are. Stand up, do our best, and honor each participant. So we can be competitive and still be free. We can be competitive and still be strong and have an honor. And when we make that choice, when we live in that opportunity, just like those athletes who, with all the pressure of their country of, they've got to get a medal, and they get out on the ice, at that moment, it's just them and the music. It's just them to hold on to who and why they're there, all the work that got them there. And that's the same for us. Right now, today, exactly where we are living the moment. And in that moment, with our family, with our neighbors, with this beautiful New Braunfels community, we're bringing forth ideas that grow. And boy, this community is growing. The second fastest growing community in the nation, New Braunfels. And what are we growing towards? Well, from the mayor's office, we're growing for inclusivity, diversity, equity, and awareness. Those are high ideals. And they're all a chosen response to what is. If we keep doing things the way that we're doing, we're going to get the same results doing it that way. We get to choose it anew. So let's bring this talk to a close with this wisdom from Reverend Sue Sicking, a powerful unity minister and writer. She says, "The soul of mankind longs for freedom from bondage of the mind and intellect, from the limitations imposed by man's one and only sin, his belief in separation. The new life movement is oneness, is unity, is union. And in that, we can be like those athletes in Beijing, striving for the best and the highest, while recognizing that together we can create a world that reflects the image of God. Peace, wholeness, spiritual freedom to choose whatever at any time right now. It's our choice to choose to live in peace. Thank you.
Step out on the water, release your faith. Every step is stronger. Step out on the water.